This is beyond bad business. Do you have an accountant? Do you have a CPA?
Yes.
Is she suicidal?
No.
She might be when she looks at this. So first, tell me where you're from and what you do.
My name is Ashley Walker. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I am an energetic business coach to hairdressers.
What does that mean, energetic business coach?
I help hairdressers, salon, and suite owners double their revenue by creating a high-ticket, holistic experience for their clients. This enables them to make more in half the time, but also help their clients at a deeper level.
What do you mean holistic?
Healing. Energetic healing.
Hairdressers?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, forgive my ignorance. What does energy and healing have to do with cutting hair?
Well, it has everything to do with cutting hair because people have such an intimate experience with their hairdresser. It's why you have a really bad haircut and you can really feel a certain way and you tell that story over and over again. A lot of times clients think of their hairdressers as low-key therapists and they tell them things that they might not even tell their partner or maybe even their therapist that they pay hundreds of dollars to.
That makes more sense. It started out sounding like complete gibberish. You're just some hippie who had this idea and you saw one of your friends was like, oh my God, like, wouldn't it be great if we surrounded ourselves with energy while we cut each other's hair? But now that you say that the therapy part, that actually makes sense because people do talk to their hairdressers about a bunch of personal stuff. So I now start to see the marketing angle for this. How much money are you making doing this?
Last year, the statement was $219,000 gross revenue from coaching.
What did you profit?
Profit, it was about 134.
Okay, well, that's very good.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not great, but if I went to a homeless person, I said, there's this lady named Ashley in Austin, Texas, teaching people how to cut hair with energy, and she made 134 grand last year, that person would either get motivated or jump off a bridge. So that's good. What exactly is the problem that you solve?
So at its heart, it solves two major problems. One is revenue. So how can they work less, but also impact their clients more? They want to make more money, but they want to do it the right way. And then they also are addressing their burnout. A lot of hairdressers, because of all that time behind the chair, being a low-key therapist for their clients, they get really burned out.
Your offer is you help hairdressers make money.
Yeah.
And your angle is the energy and the angels flying around, right?
Yes.
Okay, for everything. Okay, so what'd you do last month? What's your revenue last month?
Last month, the revenue was $15,000.
And why wasn't it 30?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I think I had said in the...
What do you mean you're not sure?
Well, I don't know if it's that my offer sucks, if like my price needs to go lower, right? I don't know if I'm just terrible at doing sales
I mean, what
calls.
is the nuts and bolts reason? You didn't get enough calls. Do you sell this on the phone?
Yes.
Okay, so you get people to book calls, you get them on the phone, you try to sell them.
Yes.
Again, I'm asking, why didn't you close 30 instead of 15? Are you unable to get people to buy, or are you unable to get people on the phone? Like, what's the actual problem?
I'm unable to get people to buy.
When they're on the phone?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have a problem getting people on the phone, correct?
Correct.
Do you have a problem getting leads to get them in a position where they can get on the phone?
No.
So your problem is sales?
Yes.
All right, so that's what we're going to fix is sales. Okay, got it. And you can't fix that with some energy or some, like a seance or something? That's not something you can fix?
No.
Okay,
That's not how it works.
We're going to do the reality thing, and then I'm going to teach you, like, actual sales. All right, so no, I'm just busting you up. But seriously, are your hairdressers making more money when they do this?
Yes.
And what's the biggest objection you get on a sales call that it's the reason why they're not buying?
They're afraid that they're going to either lose their clients or they're afraid that they're not going to get the return on their investment.
Why would they lose their clients?
Because for the exact same reason that you and I are on this call and the way that it started, right? Where you were like, this doesn't make sense. Like, this is kind of
it
woo,
sounds like
the
BS.
angels, like it sounds like BS, right? And so it's going to take...
I'm still not convinced it's not BS, but
Sure,
continue.
Totally. And so those fears can crop up. There might have a moment where they actually really want that and they want to go in on this idea, but then there's another part of them that's afraid that it's not going to work for them.
Are they afraid their clients are going to think they're crazy? Or like, what's the actual objection?
I think it's that they think that their clients are going to think they're crazy, and it's only for a certain amount of clients, but it's not for all of their clients or most of their clients.
Is this a normal hairdresser? Are these hairdressers in Seattle? Why would somebody feel that way? Aren't there people who are already accepting of that?
They are, but I still think that there's hesitation and fear on their part that their clients will not get on board. They're on board, but they don't know if their clients will be on board.
Explain to me how a hairdresser is going to make more money with energy. Just explain it to me, just so I understand the concept.
Sure. A lot of it's hourly pricing. So they start to go in instead of like double and triple booking clients. It's it's an experience instead of a la carte service. So you're going to charge more for that because you're giving them a one-of-a-kind niche experience as opposed to just coming in and having a conveyor belt, quick in and out haircut.
Do they need to rebrand their whole salon for this? Are they salon owners or are they hairdressers renting a chair?
Both. It depends on where they're at. If they're working in a commission-based salon, it's only going to work if their salon owner is on board with it, because why would they invest $5,000-$6,000 in this?
That's how much you charge? $5,000-$6,000? Mm-hmm. The people that you do charge that make the money, are they making more money because of it?
Yes.
Pitch me your product. I'm a hairdresser. Hi, Ashley. I want to make more money cutting hair. Tell me about how I can do that with energy. Give me your pitch.
Well, if you identify as empathic, meaning that you can sense the energy of your clients and you are a low...
Can I change how I identify? Can I be empathetic and then a dick 2 seconds later?
Sure, why not?
Okay, I was just clarifying. I'm kidding. Continue.
Well, if you identify as an empathic hairdresser, just meaning that...
What does that mean?
Empathic is a term meaning that you can feel, you're intuitive. You can feel the energy of your clients. You can sense when they want to talk a lot, when they need you to shut up, when they're having a bad day.
So you might say something like, would you consider yourself what is it called?
Empathic.
Empathic. Clearly, I'm not that person. I don't even know how to pronounce it. So would you consider yourself an empath? That is a question you might ask. Mm-hmm. That's a good opening question. Continue. Sorry.
What if you could learn how to take those skills and actually create a holistic business model that allows you to help your clients even more at a deeper level and make more money in half the time?
Okay, got it. All right, let me take a look at your bank statement. Let's see if this energy stuff adds up on with math. I can see you use Stripe as a processor for your high ticket. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's stupid. You don't want to use Stripe for high ticket. Low ticket, whatever, but not for high ticket. If you ever have a dispute, or not even if you have a dispute, if they just decide one day you're making too much money, they can shut you down. So if you have any pay plans, anything like that, gone. Okay, you have no recourse. Do you have an LLC?
Yes.
So you have articles of organization?
Yes.
So you take those articles of an organization to your bank and you create a business bank account, which is this a business bank account or a personal bank account? This is a business. Okay, great. Now, what is the first name of your banker? You don't know this. This is not good. Okay. You don't know who you do business with, who holds your money. That's not good. Let's call him Tom. Hey, Tom, can you get me in contact with the person who handles your merchant accounts? All right. Now, I also noticed you use Bank of America. That's the poor people bank. You need a real bank like Chase, who has real services for real business owners. Bank of America is not that. This is the trailer park of banks, just letting you know. So I see Stripe and Square. So you use both?
Well, I'm also a salon owner, and that...
Wait, hold on. You're mixing your salon with your consulting business?
Yeah.
So you do realize that if you screw up, if you do something and somebody sues you in your coaching business, they can take your salon, right?
No.
Well, now you do. You got to separate those. Wait, did you go to college?
Yes.
This is why I don't like college. Because it doesn't teach you jack. How can you go to college and not know that? That's the problem. You go to college, you don't learn basics. All right, these are basics. Okay, Venmo. Why do you have Venmo on here?
That was for I think it was a consultant.
You did consulting for $25?
No, not me. I think I paid somebody $25.
You paid someone $25? What kind of consulting was this? How to change your friggin' toilet seat?
I don't remember.
Why would you?
Sorry.
What kind of advice do you get for $25? I look at this and I'm trying to identify bad decisions. That's all I'm trying to do. Cadence Bank, $4,788. Did you pay yourself?
No, that's for salon build out.
This is beyond bad business. You don't mix two businesses. You have separate LLCs, separate bank accounts. Do you have an accountant? Do you have a CPA?
Yes.
Is she suicidal?
No.
She might be when she looks at this. This is not good. Bank of America credit card bill payment, $10,000. What is this for?
That's the business bank account. So that's for subscriptions, consultants.
So you put the expenses on the credit card?
Correct.
Okay. Do you get points from that?
Yes.
How many points do you get?
I don't know right now off the top of my head.
You don't know. Okay. If you have a Chase account and you get a Chase Ink card, you get 4x points on advertising. So anything you spend on Facebook ads, software, stuff like that, 4x the points. 4x the points. You won't spend money on hotels or airlines. All right. Show me your website. What's your website?
200khair.com. It's a click funnel, and there's a couple of different funnels.
Is this your main funnel that makes you the money, though?
No, the Tripwire is now making a lot of money right now.
Give me the website where you get most of your clients from. Do you not know it by heart?
It's...
What? You don't know your website by heart, the one that's making you the most money.
Yeah, it's 200khair.com, but it's another funnel that's coming in through Facebook ads.
Let's take a look at the one that you do now. Free training for empathetic salon and suite owners to double your sales revenue. Discover how empathetic, I still can't say it, salon and suite owners are using energy healing to double their revenue. So here's the thing. Right off the bat, you're basically saying, like, do it through energy healing. I have to, like, believe that that's a thing right off the bat. I wouldn't do that, personally. In this training, you'll learn how to double the value of each client. See, that is what I would lead with, personally. How to increase your profit margins by 20% with holistic service. Why you are 100% capable of doing this, too. I'm Ashley Walker, founder of Becoming Light. When I started using it, okay. So you take them to a webinar, like a sales presentation, you teach them some stuff, and they then book a call. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Got it. Copy my proven 3-step leadership model I used to generate $20,000 in 30 days. Leadership model for salon owners and hair. Why does a hairdresser need to learn leadership?
So that they can get more clients, so they can train staff.
I understand a salon owner, but why a hairdresser?
They're essentially their own brand. Even if they're working as a commissioned hairstylist, they're still responsible for part of getting their clients and getting revenue into the business.
It just seems far removed. At least the headline does. How to implement holistic services in your own. See, you're leading with this holistic thing. I would say, like, how to make more money by using holistic right? I wouldn't lead with this because think about this. You're on your sales calls and you're literally saying the number one problem, the number one thing that people are afraid of are doing it holistically because they think it's going to scare clients. Yet you're leading with that in your marketing. You see what I'm saying? And you can put it in your marketing, but I would lead with the money. Like, I like this. Generate $20,000 in 30 days. Now, when people buy this, do they get on a call with you after?
Some of them do, not all of them.
I understand not all of them, but enough to make decent high-ticket revenue.
So far, yes. This is only about 45 days old.
All right, so when someone buys this, what is it, $10?
Yeah.
All right, 100 people buy this $10 thing. How many people get on the phone with you?
37 calls for this month.
Yeah, but is that from people that bought the $100 thing?
It looks like last month it was about 50%.
That's good. How many of these did you sell last month, these $10 things?
Over the past month, it looks like we sold about 150 of them.
Okay, well, 37 is not half.
Oh, I thought you meant how many people who booked a call were from the holistic.
No. How many people bought the $10, whatever that thing is, and then got on a call? So like if 150 people bought the $10 thing, how many people got on a call who had purchased that first?
25.
That's not terrible. That's pretty good. So let me look at your social media. Energetic business coach to hairdressers. Helping salon owners create holistic experiences so they can 2x their revenue and heal their clients without the hustle. Okay, that's not bad. Empathetic salon owners, 3 steps to 2x revenue while healing clients. Step 1, heal your vessel to receive. There are clients ready to pay you more and you've been resisting. Healing past money blocks set you up to attract a lot more abundance. Okay, the people who are in your audience, as long as they resonate with this type of language, that's fine. But that's my question. Do they already resonate with this flowery language?
Yeah, they're women. They're hairdressers.
I know plenty of women who would never say, heal your vessel. Plenty. The concern I have is you said they're afraid they're going to scare off their clients with this, right? That's your main thing. That means there's a concern there that even if they believe in it, they know that it sounds wacky and it could scare off their clients. So my question to you is your audience, the people following you, are they already into this stuff? Or are they not? Because if they're into it, this is perfect. If they're not into it, I would not lead with this. Does this make sense?
It does. And it's ultimately, my market is 50-50. I have people who have no experience at all whatsoever, and sometimes they are my best students. And then I have some people who already have some experience or are into this already, and sometimes they have a lot of trouble.
Here's the problem I have, because I've coached a lot of people in like the spiritual energy space. And here's the problem I have with that space. I don't care about what y'all believe in. I have my beliefs, you have your belief. I don't care. What I care about is sacrificing good marketing for your beliefs. The number one thing about marketing that is going to propel you to the next level is clarity. So when you say heal your vessel, I don't know what that means. Do I have a boat? Like, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about like heal ourselves?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. If your audience knows what heal your vessel means, and they're not like, this girl's crazy, then great. But if half of your audience doesn't know what that means and it sounds weird to them, I might take the dial of clarity to, like, all the way to the left is energy and the avatar world, whatever. All the way to the right is like the dictionary. You get me? I would crank it just a bit to the right so that in case they're not into that yet, they can understand and resonate with you, but you're not turning off the spiritual people. You get my point?
100%.
And you're kind of doing it here because you say it twice. There are clients ready to pay you more and you've been resisting healing past money. So this is fine because you include it here. I just want to make sure you're not going overkill on it. Break up with burnout, double booking, and long hours is an outdated method for hitting six figures in your salon. There's a smarter way when you combine premium healing services with the prices that match. I don't know what that means, premium healing services. You earn more while working less and you make a bigger impact. Okay. Here's the thing I would like to see more of is telling them the model. All right. Have you heard of Cody Sanchez?
No.
This is why when you said, oh, they're women, they all talk like this. No, they don't. There's plenty of women who are extremely down to earth and they're not into this type of stuff, okay? And one of them is Cody Sanchez. She is an influencer, and I want you to notice something about her. It's very, very clear as soon as you go to her Instagram what her model is. What she's telling you to make money, and she's telling you how to do it. So when you go here, you will notice, look, small business plus private equity investor. As soon as you start watching her reels, you're going to notice that she says, hey, here's how you make money. You invest in boring businesses. Her whole thing is creating a network of small, boring businesses, things that aren't fun, like things that aren't energy healing, right? Things that are just whatever. They're just like laundromats, dry cleaners, just normal, everyday, boring businesses. You get what I'm saying? She's very clear about that. She's very clear about here's how you're going to make money. And then when you buy her stuff, that's the execution. So what I don't like about your stuff is you're not actually telling that you're just saying a bunch of flubba-dub-dub. You're not telling them, hey, here's how I'm going to get you there. Because energy healing and it doesn't mean anything. Now, if you were to say, hey, look, I'm going to show you how to take your haircut session and add additional services to it, making it more valuable so you can charge twice as much. In fact, the hairdressing part is simply one aspect of the holistic hair experience, whatever. And I would lead with content that's more like, I'm going to show you how you can charge twice as much as every other hairdresser and actually get it. Here's how it breaks down. Why do most people go to a hairdresser? It's not just to get their hair cut. It is to have someone to talk to. In fact, you and I both know that hairdressers are almost like therapists. A woman will choose a hairdresser she likes talking to and make that one of the deciding factors just as much as how good the hair is cut. Well, what if you could take that aspect of your session and make it more valuable so you could charge more and market it to your clients so that it's something new, it's something different, you stand out amongst all the hairdressers as being different, and you offer a holistic energy experience. What is that? And then you explain it. See, now I understand, oh, so wait, I'm going to do something different than other hairdressers. What if you combined energy healing with hairdressing? See, like here's another one. What if you combined energy healing with hairdressing? Well, my client Sarah did, and she doubled her revenue in 30 days. Here's how. It's so much more clear how you can help people right off the bat. It gets their attention right off the bat instead of this whole vague sort of like heal your vessel. And I get all that. I understand all that. But you're not being clear how you can actually help these people. You're just saying vague stuff. And then when they get on the call, I'm imagining you're clearing that up. Mm-hmm. So by the time they get on the call, you've now cleared it up for them. And now they have to make a decision to give you money all in the same conversation. Whereas if they already knew the model and they already were like, oh, okay, this is how I'm going to make more money. By the time they get on the call and get to the end of the conversation, they're fully aware of what you're going to do and help them. It's not just halfway through the conversation and now you have to make two sales. That's what most coaches and business consultants fail to understand. Every time you sell something, you're selling two things. Number one, you're selling the path for them to make more money. And really it doesn't have to be, it could be fitness coaches, anything. You're selling them the path. Then you have to sell them on you taking them down the path. Back in the 1960s or 70s, when airlines came out, airlines couldn't just say, fly with United. They had to say, hey, here is a faster way to travel. Here is a safer way to travel. Here's a way to get to your destination without having to drive. First, they sold them on the path. The path was commercial flight. Then they said, fly with United, fly with American. See, you are trying to get them right to go to buy my stuff. You need to first sell them on the path in your marketing. And then when they accept, oh, I can do this. They get on the call for you to help them execute it. But if you try to make both sales on the same call, these people are not going to buy, period. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I mean, a lot of them will rate things at like an 8, 9, or 10 when like I do a temp check, but then it comes to the investment and they're like, ugh.
Well, yeah,
So
because they just now understood how they can make more money. Now you're hitting them with the price. You got to give that time to sink in. So how do you advertise?
Facebook.
So Facebook ads. Can I see an ad? Or what do you say in your ad? All right, so this is your ad. Ceremony, healing, and hair salon. Empathetic hairdressers and salon owners, if you want to work less and charge more, then incorporating holistic services into your salon is the best way to do it. So I like this. It's a bit more clear than your social media. The barrier to enter is low. You don't need to have any prior experience to start. You need to stand out. So this is good. What you're saying here is a lot better. And is this ad producing for you?
Yes.
It's profitable?
Yes.
So this is $10 for this course, right?
Yep.
Do you have an upsell for this?
Yes, it's a $197 upsell.
And then when people take it, that takes care of the ad spend, correct? And how much are you spending per day on this?
I think it's $100 a day.
Oh, well, that's why you're profitable. You ain't spending nothing. You got to get that to $1,000 a day. You'll notice if you spend more, that profit will go down, and you'll have to split test and go nuts on it. But that's still good at $100 a day. What are you doing when somebody buys this $10 thing? What are you doing to get them on the phone?
The course that they get for $997, it's a 𝐾𝐽 course. And so it walks them through. There's an introduction, a welcome about, how to use the course. And then it's a lot of the Facebook trainings that I do in my Facebook group, my free Facebook group.
Do you call these people?
Yes, I did have a setter who we were calling them and reaching out to them.
How'd that go?
Sometimes it would go great. Sometimes it didn't go great because I had to remember that these were tradespeople who don't work a desk job. So sometimes they're not as responsive to answering the phone and getting on a call right away.
So everybody's busy. How many times did you call them?
I think she would call them, a couple of times. She would have to follow up with them.
Why don't you call them once a day until they answer? So I would call them, I'd email them, and I'd text them, all three for 3 days. My buddy Andy Stickle sells lawyer marketing, had 2 lawyers, sold a pack of 300 leads, non-exclusive leads, to both lawyers. One lawyer complained that he got 0 cases. So Andy calls up the second lawyer. He says, hey, how many cases? These are the same leads, by the way. Sold the same leads to both lawyers. Calls up the second lawyer and says, how many cases did you get? Second lawyer says, I got 70 cases. So he's like, what the heck? So he says, well, this guy got none. He says, well, how many times did he call him? He's like, I don't know. So he calls the other guy back up. He says, how many times did you call the leads? He said, once. He says, yeah, nobody ever answers the first time. He's like, well, how many times do you call them? He says, we do the 3x3 method. He says, well, what's the 3x3 method? He says, we call them, text them, and email them 3 different ways for 3 days. And when we did that, we got 70 cases versus 0. You should probably call your leads more. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, do you have retargeting ads hitting those people to book a call?
That's a good question. No.
You don't know that? You're telling me you're having hundreds of people buy this $10 thing and you don't have a retargeting ad saying, hi there, you bought my $10 or whatever the heck it was. Listen, would you like to double your income as a hairdresser or salon owner? Right now, I'm doing free hairdresser audits where I'm going to take a look at your books. I'm going to take a look at how much money you're making as a hairstylist, and I'm going to pinpoint some ways in which you can make more. This is a 45-minute call. It's totally free, and it sounds like we can show you how to increase that. We'll show you what that looks like, and you can decide if you want to become a part of it or not. Click the link below to book your call. You're not doing that, and then you're not also having 15 other ads that are like, hey, I want you to meet Sarah. Sarah booked her free hair audit, whatever call, and look what she did in her business. Boom, cuts to Sarah, who's like, oh, I started doing energy stuff, and I made this and that much money, and blah, 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 right? And then you do another retargeting ad. Hey, do you know about Mary? Mary switched her hairdressing sessions to holistic hairdressing sessions, and she tripled her business. Boom, here comes Mary. Oh, hi, I love Ashley so much because she showed me how to do energy work during my hair sessions, and now I make triple the money. And look how my clients are so happy. They love their hair, and when they come home, they feel like they've upgraded their energy and the blah, 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 whatever. You don't have that?
No.
Well, do you hate money?
I love money.
Well, then you should probably do that. These are tons of people that are buying your $10 thing. And then if you hit them constantly, hammer, 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 result, result, result. Do you have these results?
Yes.
Then why not show them off? How are you getting these results in front of people's faces?
Facebook group. In the $9 course in Kajabi, there's a whole...
How many people do you think totally go through that course?
Maybe 15%.
Okay. So then that being there is pretty much irrelevant. It should be there. Okay.
It's on Instagram, and there is a YouTube.
Your Instagram that I don't understand what the heck you do.
The Instagram that you don't understand that has other people's faces that are not my face. Like, those are the students.
Yes, but you're not being clear on like the model. Do you understand what I'm saying? You were in your ad. You're clear in your ad. So I mean, you could be a little clearer, but you were clearer in your ad. So why not on your socials? Here's what I believe. I believe that when you say energy and you say healing and you say vessel and you say all these trigger, buzzwords,
Sure.
It's the same thing that Muslims say. It's the same thing that Christians say. It's the same thing that Orthodox Jews say. It's the same thing that witches say. You all say the same thing. You just use different words for it. Okay. Sure. At the end of the day, every religion has some dude who, made a sacrifice. Like, it's all the same. I'm not beating on you for that. I just noticed this is a thing with the energy and spiritual market. You're like, I'm going to market my business, but I'm going to put the spiritual part before the marketing. You can't do that. You have to stick to the fundamentals. You got to be clear about your offer. You got to be clear about your path. You got to be clear about how you're going to make them get the result. And then you fill in the blanks with all that rigmarole. You don't make that the whole marketing strategy. You see what I'm saying?
Understood.
Let's get to the nitty gritty. We're on the phone. Well, first of all, how do you open the call? What's the first thing you say on the call?
Hey, Susan, great to hear from you. How was your weekend? Where are you calling from?
And after that stuff, that's called building rapport.
And I'm like, cool. Is it okay for us to get started with the call?
So never ask for permission. Don't ever ask for permission. You just handed them all the power. They don't get to decide how things go. It's your call. You got to hold the frame. So here's what I would say. All right, Susan, here's how these calls normally go. First thing I'm going to do is take a look at your hair salon business. I'm going to ask you some questions about your business, much like a doctor would ask a patient about their symptoms. And then I'm going to diagnose what the problem is, much like a doctor would diagnose what the problem is for their patients. Then, if I can help, I'm going to prescribe you something. It's your choice if you want to take the pill or not. Does that sound fair? And then they say yes. Now, do you know what just happened there?
Well, you took leadership and then they got to affirm, and it's always really good when your client confirms and they say it in their own words.
Yes, but I got them to agree to a format to the call. So at any point, if they try to go off the reservation, well, just tell me the price. Hey, I can't tell you the price until I get these questions answered, just like I can't tell you what the medicine is. I can't tell you what I'm going to prescribe you until I get these questions answered. So anyway, and then you go right back into the questions. But if you do that without getting them to agree to the format, you're going to piss them off.
Yes, that has happened. Because they wanted the price right away.
Because you're not getting them to agree to the format. All right? Yeah. So you got to do that. Have you got my book, Pocket Guide to High Ticket Selling?
No.
Well, you should probably get that book. It's cheap. And it's like the whole sales script. Just put it on your desk.
Well, I hired a coach who got great results from you. So it was almost like I got a lot of some of the sales I think that she learned from you.
That's great. A lot of people have learned from me. Half the industry's learned from me.
I bet.
Here's the other thing. These people, this other half, these people who think it's BS. Have you always believed in this energy stuff?
No. I'm from Washington, D.C. It's very pragmatic. The woo-woo is not a thing that people talk about in DC. It's very fast-paced. Yeah, no, I thought it was...
So what did you think about it the first time you heard about it?
I thought it was bullshit. I had a wackadoodle client who was from California, but she had her PhD in clinical psychology.
From California?
Yeah, totally. But you know what?
Degree in BS.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but she had her PhD in clinical psychology and actually stopped her practice and became a full-time energy healer. And her husband owned half of Manchester United, the soccer team. So I was like, okay, she's not crazy. So she gave me some information and some education, and I was at a bottom in my business that I was willing to try anything. And I tried it, and I actually got a result, which was fascinating, right? You get curious.
So what you're telling me is that it's not that you have this personal affinity for energy healing.
No.
Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But what you realized was that it makes money in a hair salon business.
Well, but in the very beginning, I was just healing my burnout because I was so burned out from all of the work that I was doing and all the people's stuff that they were just throwing at me, all my clients. So at first I got into it just to help myself feel better. But then I realized, oh my God, this is amazing for my business. I want to help my clients and be able to earn more money. That sounds great.
So what you're saying is, see, this is even more clarity. So what you're saying is you did this energy healing thing, which I'm not disputing that it works. It probably does work. I just think it sounds fruity. Okay? I just think it sounds weird. All right?
Fair. I get it. I totally get it.
Funny, okay? I don't know.
Get it.
It probably works. You just look weird, all right?
I get it. I'm very pragmatic in how I teach people. It's all about data.
So what you're saying is you did this thing. This thing helped you with burnout. People come to you when you cut their hair. They're burnout in their life because everybody's burnout in their life. So you did this thing for them, and they feel better, and now they come to you more and they're willing to pay more. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so you're basically like an energy therapist, hairdresser person.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I would do in your marketing is I would say, like, I would almost call it out. I would be like, I thought this holistic energy stuff was BS. Listen, I'm from Washington, D.C. If you were to tell me that I could, pray to my angels or whatever, I don't know what y'all say. So I could balance my chakra. What would be the thing you would say?
Chakras.
Oh, I got it. I can guess. So if I would have been told that I can balance my chakras and that would get rid of all the pain and suffering in my life, I would have told you were full of it. But then I met, this is an origin story. I met this lady whose rich husband allowed her to do a bunch of hobbies because she didn't need to support the family. And I don't say that part. And then I did it and it actually worked. And when I realized it worked, I don't know, something came over me and I started doing it in my hairdressing sessions. I started showing people how to do this. And then one day, one of my clients said, this is the most amazing hair session ever. I would pay double, triple for this. Like, this should be a thing. And then I thought, you know what? She's right. Maybe it should be a thing. And so I started doing it. And you know what I did? I doubled my prices. And I did energy healing during the haircuts, during the hairdressing. And my income exploded in my business. And then I started teaching other hairdressers how to do the same thing because they're not my competition, right? They're in different locations. Why wouldn't I spread the wealth? And then they started making more money in their businesses. And that's what I'm here to teach you today, right? So that should be your pitch. That should be like your origin story pitch. Because now you're covering both markets, the people that already believe in it and the people that think it's BS. You got both markets that you've just empathized with. You've just empathized with both.
Killing me.
When it comes to the part where they say, I don't want to give you money. So let's go back to role play. So I'm you. After you tell them how the call's going to go, which you're now going to do, how do you actually handle the sales call? What do you say? Do you just ask questions? How does that go?
I ask questions. I will ask, can you tell me a little bit about your current business? I would love to know what was your last 90 days of revenue?
Okay, what was your last 90 days of revenue?
I don't know. I need to go on my phone real quick. And then they go, okay, well, I just need a ballpark. 7,000.
7,000. Why do you think you only made 7,000 versus, 14,000?
I don't know. Maybe I just need some more client. Probably like $45.
So you charge $45 for a haircut, right?
But I also have really $150 highlight services.
And how often does somebody need highlights?
Maybe every 3 months.
Okay, so how would you like to be able to charge $100 per haircut, every haircut? Do you think that would increase your business?
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Would that solve these problems?
Yeah.
You don't sound too sure. Doubling your revenue wouldn't solve any problems in your life?
Yeah, but it's also tired. I've been in this industry for 32 years. I don't know. I don't know if I want to work the same amount of hours. It's a lot.
Would you like to work half the hours?
That would be great.
And make the same amount of money?
That would be amazing.
So if you charge double what you charge now, would you be able to work half the hours and make the same amount of money?
Yes.
So then doubling your prices would solve your problem, would it not?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
What would you do with those hours?
I would go on vacation with my family.
Oh, where would you go?
I would love to go to Costa Rica.
Oh, Costa Rica? What's in Costa Rica?
Well, one of my clients talked about this vacation they took in Costa Rica, and they just had such an amazing time. I just thought I would love to do that, but it's just been so hard. I'm booked out 6 months in advance. It's just really hard to find the time. And
if you had the time and you had the same amount of money, do you think you could take that vacation to Costa Rica?
Yes.
And what would that do for your family?
Oh, that'd be incredible. I'd be able to give them a one-of-a-kind experience and, a memory, right?
And so would that improve your family life, your marriage and your relationship with your kids?
Oh, yeah.
How important is that to you?
It's really important, actually.
Just so I understand how important, if you were to put like a number on it, like a dollar figure, how high would that dollar figure get of just how important it is to be able to have what you want and improve the life at home, give your family memories? I mean, look, you've been at this 32 years. Nothing's changed. So what would be worth changing it? Like, how high would that number get?
I don't know. I've never even thought about like a dollar amount, to be honest with you.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it?
Like 10.
Like a 10. So if you had a magic wand that could just solve this, right? You wave the magic wand and it just solves it. How much would you pay for that magic wand?
I really believe in spirit, and the number just like 10,000 just like came in my head.
10,000, got it. So if I could show you how to double your prices. First of all, do you understand our model? Do you understand the model in which we make you able to double your prices as a hairdresser?
I think it's through like healing, like holistic services.
Yeah, so when somebody comes to you to get their haircut, do they normally talk to you about their problems in life?
Oh my God, all the time.
If we taught you a way to help them navigate those problems and heal pain in their life through a holistic format, and you could do it while you're cutting their hair, and you could market your services as not just a haircut, but a holistic healing session. And I could show you that we've taught other clients how to do this, and as a result, they've been able to double their prices because they're not just providing a haircut, they're providing something so much more. Is that something you would consider?
100%.
So if I could show you how to do this, and you could double your prices, would that solve your problem? Would that solve these issues with your family and allow you to make more?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about that?
Well, I'd love to know, just I guess like exactly like how it works. Like, how long does it take?
Okay, well, I don't know that. That's you all day long. Okay, all right. But you would have to be able to answer that. All right. So how long does it take?
90 days.
If we could do it in 90 days, would you be happy with that?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. Any other questions?
Well, how much does all of this cost?
So the investment for this program is $4,997.
Well. Okay. Are there any other options?
What do you mean by any other options?
Is it like a payment plan?
Do you need a payment plan?
Maybe, yeah.
Well, do you or don't you? You said maybe. Most of our clients, they pay the full amount.
Yeah, it's just that, I have all these expenses that are coming up for my salon, so I would like to know like what the payment plan would look like.
Well, how far off are you?
About $2,000 off.
What you're telling me is you could do $4,000 today. How much longer would you need for the additional $2,000?
Maybe around 2 months.
2 months. So could you do $4,000 today, $1,000 in a month, and $1,000 a month after that?
I think so.
That's 90 days. I aim to get you producing before that 90 days is up. Are you willing to do the work? Because if you can afford it now, do you think you'd more than be able to afford it if you actually did the work and were doing what my other clients were doing?
Yeah.
You've seen all the success my other clients have. Is there any reason you believe you wouldn't be able to do it yourself? Any reason to believe you wouldn't be able to get the same success as them?
No, but I think I'd like to think about it.
What would you like to think about? What questions do you have? What have I not answered on this call?
Nothing. I don't really make decisions right away. Like, I really want to just absorb it. Can you send me an email also?
So you said that you have done this business for 32 years. And in that 32 years, you have not taken action right away. You've not made decisions right away, correct?
Correct.
And how has that gone up until this point?
Not great.
If I may, the reason for that is that success loves speed. The people that win the most are the people that take action. So if you have a concern or a question, or you don't have clarity on something, or you have doubt about something, I agree with you. You shouldn't move forward right now. You totally shouldn't. You should ask me about that thing and allow me to give you clarity. But if you have all the clarity, if you understand everything there is, and there's nothing left, and the only reason you don't want to proceed is because of a feeling, well, that's called fear. Would you say that's the same fear that prevented you from taking action for the past 32 years?
Totally.
So what do you think you should do?
I'm just scared.
Sarah.
I've never spent this amount. I've never spent this amount.
I'm with you. You've never spent this amount. You've also never doubled your prices. Let me ask you this. Who's the greatest baseball player of all time?
Babe Ruth.
And most people would say that. But that doesn't really make sense because he hasn't hit the most home runs. He hasn't stolen the most bases. He hasn't won the most World Series. Yet everyone always says he's the greatest. Would you like to know why people say that?
Yeah.
Because even though modern day baseball players have crushed his stats, back when he played baseball, they didn't play as many games. They didn't have as good a training. They didn't have private jets flying them around from game to game. They didn't have sports massage therapists keeping their muscles in good order. They didn't have nutritionists. They didn't have personal trainers. They didn't have any of the resources they have today. The reason why people think Babe Ruth is the greatest baseball player to ever live, and why they will always think that, is because he did what he did in a time when the conditions were not ideal. Society programs us as children to not move forward when the conditions are not ideal. And 99% of people live their life that way. That's why 99% of people are broke. And 1% of people, they move forward anyway, which is also why 1% of people own 99% of the world's wealth. Do you want to be the 99% or the 1%?
I want to be the 1%.
Well, the reason the 1% of the 1% is because they realize one thing. Champions are not fearless. They just do it scared. I can promise you that every single person that joined this program was scared out of their minds when they first did it. But what got them over that fear was the same thing that allowed them to double their prices. Because look, I'm going to tell you, Sarah, even if you decide to come in today, if you come in scared, you're going to be scared when I tell you to double your prices. You're going to be scared when I tell you to ask your clients to double the price. You got to get over this fear now. It does not serve me whatsoever for you to fail. Because the way I make money is I make others money. And if I don't make you money, then I don't make money. Because then I'll get a bad reputation and then people won't buy from me. And so I'm going to ask you to do the same thing you're going to ask your clients to do. And that is give me a premium price to solve a premium problem in your life. You're going to ask your clients to give you a premium price to solve a premium problem in their life. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Can we onboard you on Tuesday?
Yes.
That was obviously a theoretical sales situation. But do you ever handle it anywhere near that way on your current sales calls?
No. Like I've shared some snippets in the way, but not with the same level of finesse, you know? Like where it feels conversational, right? Because it's still that balance for me and like holding them to the frame while also validating what they're going through. I
appreciate you saying it was finesse, but it was very choppy because it wasn't a real sales conversation. I didn't get time to build rapport. It's a fictional person.
Sure.
So it was very vanilla, very dry, but it gives you the framework. Look, you don't have to be that finessed about it. It's great if you are, but the biggest thing that's going to change the game for you is the will to ask. I'll give you an example. I was at a Costa Rican theme park. I took my son to a Costa Rican theme park out here. And I go on this ride with my son, which is a water ride. Well, right at the point where water splashes you, I decided to take my shirt off and hide it so that it wouldn't get wet, so I could put it back on so I wouldn't walk around freezing because it gets a little chilly at night. Well, when I did that, my glasses flew off my face. And so I asked them if they could check the boats for my glasses. And they checked the boats, right? They didn't find anything. And by the way, they didn't speak English. I'm doing this with Google Translate. It's like really difficult. So then they tell me that I have to wait till the ride is done. So I said, well, I need a phone number to contact someone. So they said, well, I don't have the phone number. It's at the front desk. So I said, okay, walk me to the front desk and get the phone number. So they walk me to because I need my glasses. I couldn't drive home without them, right? So they walk me to the front desk. I get the phone number. I walk back. Phone number doesn't work. Very Costa Rican. It's now right after 5. I walk back to the ride. I asked the workers there, I said, did you find it? They said, no. I said, can you look again? They say, no. And so I walk over and I find a security guard. I ask him. I say, can you look for the glasses? I just kept asking. He said, yes. It got to the point where he took me up to the ride. I said, well, it's probably in the water, right? And they said, well, we can't get in the water to look. I said, well, how about I get in the water? Will you let me up there and I will go in the water and swim around and find my glasses? And they said, okay. And they let me get in the friggin' water of this ride. This would never happen in the United States. Mm-hmm. I have pictures. I'm swimming in all around looking for my glasses. Couldn't find them. I get out, and just as I'm about to leave, I look down at the track where the boats come in, and there are my glasses right underneath the track. And I go, look, and I get in there and I get my glasses. I found my glasses. I kept pushing and I never demanded anything. I kept pushing and asking until I got a no. And I didn't get a no. And that's the thing. On sales calls, most people are afraid to just ask. Like, if they say, well, send me an email. Well, I'm not ready right now. Well, what questions do you have? And then They say, well, I don't make big decisions. Okay, well, let me ask you this. If you have every single thing answered, if you know every single thing that you need to know and you're still not doing it, well, that sounds like fear. Would you agree that that's fear? And then what did you do? You said, yes, I'm scared. You got to just keep going. You don't have to be pushy. You don't have to do high pressure sales. You don't have to force someone. But you can just keep asking questions until they say yes. And most people are unwilling to do that. Most salespeople, what they'll do is, well, what if I do this for you? What if I do that for you? What if I lower the price? What if I do this? But I'm just asking about their mindset. I'm going to give you one more tip. Do you have a pay plan for this?
Yes. That's where the 6K, it's 2K down.
Okay, so you take 2K down, and then what do you give them?
And then they can pay each month.
How much?
2K.
When you said, I need a pay plan, I said, first, do you need a pay plan? Because what if they didn't? About 20% of people say, no, I don't need a pay plan. Next, they say, well, I just need to know the options. I said, well, how far off are you? You volunteered that you were willing to do $4,000. Instead of if you would have just given them the pay plan options, you would have walked away with $2,000 that day. But when you ask them how far off they are, you walked away with 4. Because if you would have offered 2, would she have given you 2 or 4? 2. But when you asked, what could they do today? She said 4. So how much did you get then? 4. So never offer a pay plan. Just ask how far off they are. First ask if they need a pay plan, then ask how far off they are. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I'm going to challenge you now. Here's the challenge I'm going to give you. First part of the challenge. From here on out, in every part of your marketing, your webinars, your sales presentation, your social media content, I want you to be ultra clear on how they're going to make more money. Talk about the what, not the how. The what is offering holistic services, right? Why does it work? Why is it better? When they buy from you, that's when you sell them the how to do it. But you're not talking enough about the what. You're not talking enough about the model. The second thing is talk more about how much you thought holistic stuff was BS, because you're going to resonate now with your entire audience, not just half your audience. And you're going to also eliminate a lot of those fears with the entire audience. You're calling out the number one objection they have, and you're lighting it on fire and incinerating it in front of them instead of hiding it. And the third thing is I want you to take more control of the sales calls, and I want you to have more of a mindset coaching session than a sales call session. Look, if they don't want to buy because they don't have an answer to something, then answer their question. If they don't want to buy because they're scared, then show them how not to be scared. If they don't want to buy because they don't like you and they don't believe you and they think you suck, then end the call. Ain't nothing you can be able to do about that, okay? You want people who are on your team. You could sell them, but you're not going to get people results who you hard sell. So you want to get them on your team. Does this all make sense?
Yep.
You think this is going to be helpful?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to know, after you do this for a while, what the results are. So make sure to email me back in, 30 days, and let me know what the results are.
You got it. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, go balance your chakras.